Good morning, everybody. Helen the Russian here. This morning I'm a bit upset. Has to do with something I heard on the radio. I like to listen to 94.1 Mix, Mercedes in the Morning Show. I've been listening to Mercedes for well over a decade. But anyhow, something came up, and this is something she shared from personal knowledge, and it has to do with Uber. Well, she was very polite. She was saying rideshare in keeping things vague, but it sounds like it was an Uber deal, which had actually nothing to do with Uber itself. So someone she personally knows, so that particular friend relayed the story to her, a woman. She requested an Uber ride and she's standing outside waiting for her Uber. The car pulls up with the Uber sticker right up to her. And so she leans in and she goes, "Are you," whatever the name of the driver, he goes, "Yeah, get in." So she gets in, and very shortly she realizes that they're not going where they should be going, and she goes, "Wait, what's going on? I don't think you're my driver." At which time he pulls the gun out and demands her wallet. And he deliberately drove there. They were behind the store, meaning there was no one around, no one to yell for help. Thankfully, he was not driving fast, obviously being behind the store in how those areas are. So she threw her wallet at him, literally, and she got out of the moving car. And she was hurt, but thankfully not horribly. And obviously that was absolutely terrifying experience for her. And then hearing that story, Mercedes co-anchor JC, he says that, look, I know someone whom a similar thing happened to, and that young woman was getting out of the nightclub. So I'll get to it in a minute, because it looks like these people targeting women, and specifically women in certain locations. And same thing, she requested an Uber, car pulled up right at her, and she asked, "Hey, are you Dave or whatever?" And he goes, yeah, get in. And she was going to Summerlin, where she lives, and because she wasn't drunk or wasted, she very quickly realized they're going in the opposite direction. She goes, "Hey, wait, why are we going to Henderson?" And the guy was not responsive. She called the police. Again, that story ended all right. She called the police. Police became involved. But what I'm saying, police, even as she was calling, they basically were telling her, "Look, you need to get out of that car. There is no way to sugarcoat it. We'll try to get you help, but you need to get out of that car. Just try and do your best." And she was able to get away. He didn't go into detail of what actually took place, but similar situation. So clearly, these people are not real Uber drivers. In fact, I doubt they were ever even signed up with Uber. They buy the Uber sticker, or they literally print the Uber sticker online and stick it on their car. I don't think they even have to buy them. And then they target usually women, because it's obviously not smart to target men, because men might resist, men might have a gun of their own to pull on them. So women are easy target. They always have been. That's not news. This bothers me a great deal, because it affects negatively the whole Uber brand. But honestly, I'm not so concerned about Uber brand. I'm concerned about us, the drivers. Like, I don't drive that much. I drive part-time. Some of you make a living doing this. It all can end up badly for everyone, because if this persists, there might be laws restricting rideshare. That might happen. It might affect, like Uber. I heard on the wires that Uber now doing more extensive background checks. They're doing ongoing ones. But see, that's not going to help this situation. Like I said, I do not think these people ever worked for Uber. So keep checking on regular Uber drivers. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but I'm not thinking this is going to resolve the problem. I don't have a ready answer. This is absolutely disgusting, but you know what? That's criminals for you. That's what criminals do. They keep up with the technology, and they keep finding new and innovative ways to commit their crimes. That's all there is to it. So what can we do as drivers? Really not much. However, just like with everything else, see something, say something. That's my motto these days, and I've been keeping up with that, and I recommend you do the same. You know, when you're driving around, you can, in most cases, you can tell when a driver next to you or in front of you, if it's an Uber or Lyft driver, are legit. Because oftentimes, I'm sure you noticed it as well, you sit on the light, there is an Uber in front of you, you can actually see into his app because the phone is usually right there mounted somewhere on the windshield or the dash. Like oftentimes I can see where they're going, meaning the app actually giving them directions, like they're following. The app is, you can see the app is on, what I'm trying to say. They are on active ride or they going to a requested ride. That's very obvious. So if ever, and I definitely am going to be even more vigilant. If ever I pull up next to or behind someone with Uber sticker, Lyft sticker, who clearly is picking up, obviously if people just drive around, that makes no difference. But if they're picking up or dropping off and you don't see the Uber app open or Lyft app open, clearly don't engage. Obviously these people are dangerous. Like this one guy had a gun. But make a note of their license plate, make a model of the car, and call 311. Don't call 911, obviously, but unless you see someone with the gun putting it to someone's head. But call 311 and report the situation. And if more of us gonna do this, no, we're not gonna do it all together, but I think it'll make a difference. I'm telling you, myself, I'm going to pay more attention. This is apparently, I talked about fake Uber drivers before, but now it's getting into the area where they serious danger to the public, and they actually, as such, they danger to our livelihood because they affecting, like I said, they affecting the brand and they possibly affecting the fate of the rideshare, at least in our city. And the reason that whole conversation came about because the study was done and Mercedes was talking about it, and our state is number 5 as far as dangerous crime goes. Yeah, we pretty high up there, which that didn't really surprise me. I watch the news every day, so yeah, that sounds about right. Apart from that, I don't know what else we can do as far as being vigilant and trying to eliminate these people off of the streets. I am seriously thinking about making an appointment with the sheriff and maybe ask him what he thinks we could be doing and how we could aid the police. I need to go to police headquarters and figure out how does one make an appointment with the sheriff. I'm not sure how to do it, but I'm pretty sure it could be done. So yes, I'm thinking of doing it, and if it does happen, I'll definitely let you know how that went. But apart from that, yes, be vigilant. And on a side note, speaking of police, I already said many times how I feel about police. I like police. I want more police. Police doing fantastic job, in my opinion, seriously. We have awesome sheriff. I'm so glad he got re-elected. But yesterday on the news, they showed the video of a police officer chasing a dangerous criminal, shooting at him through his windshield and ultimately apprehending him. And apparently some people are unhappy because that chase took place in the vicinity of the school and residential area. Well, people need to look at the full story. And I mean it seriously. People who constantly criticize the police, they forget it's good to sit behind your keyboard or in your comfy couch and do this. It's all good and well until you're the one in the middle of that situation and you really want your police to protect you. But basically what had happened, police got a call out and this guy, the criminal, he had a big truck. He almost immediately, he opened fire on the police when they tried to approach him. He fired 36 rounds, not 1 or 2, 36 rounds that guy fired, which is why the chase ensued, and then he tried to get away. So here is this police that they've been fired at already by this criminal. They're chasing him and trying to stop him, clearly for a good reason. I don't need to explain this, do I? And people say, oh, well, he should have, wait until they pass the school zone. Okay, so this is the criminal who already fired 36 rounds at police. So do you think, honestly, he's driving around, he's getting away from the police and he goes, oh yeah, it's a school zone. I see the police is falling back. Yeah, I should too slow down. We'll resume this after we pass the school zone. Like, honestly, do you think that will happen? And so, obviously, in my opinion, and I'm not qualified to offer any opinions about police work, just like none of us are, but the officer saw that this dangerous criminal with fully loaded weapons who already fired at him, now entering school zone and residential zone where he might hurt more people, randomly firing. So this police officer did everything he could to prevent that from happening, to protect us, to protect the kids, to protect the public. And so he was shooting, he actually was, the cop was really badass, I like that. He was shooting through his windshield at the truck, at the criminal, and he got him. At the end of the day, no civilians were hurt, no police officer were hurt. Krim got hurt, but hey, you're not gonna see me shed any tears over that. I'd say good work, yes. So that's that. And then I saw a lot of remarks like, oh, there is little chance of him when in a moving vehicle. He couldn't possibly, he knew he's gonna miss and whatnot. Well, he was not even 5 feet behind this giant truck. We're talking really big truck right in front of him, and that's why I think he was shooting through the windshield instead of going outside the window, because he was aiming at the truck and he was hitting the truck. He got his target. He didn't get anyone else. He got specifically the target. I'd say give him a medal. That's my opinion. But anyhow, that it is what it is, and that's another thing. I resent a bit the fact that I like news, I do, and our news channels are pretty good as far as delivering the facts and not really providing much editorial, which is good. That's how news should be. They should tell us, give us the facts, and let us make our own opinion about them. They shouldn't really do a lot of editorials, and they don't. But having said that, I didn't particularly like the fact that they posted this video of shooting on their Facebook, and the original video was edited, meaning they only showed the part from the officer's body cam when he was shooting right before he actually stopped the truck. So they didn't show originally what happened before, where criminal was raining bullets on the cops, so which is why the whole thing happened. But anyhow, they posted and they go, oh, tell us what you think. Well, it's not up to the public to make assessments of police work. Like I said before, we're not qualified. We're not trained. We're not qualified. Every shooting merits internal investigation. That's a police procedure. They always investigate any shooting that happened. And an investigation done by people who are qualified to investigate it. Members of the public, we're not. All we ultimately need is for our police to protect us, to get the job done, and then thank them heartily for putting their lives in danger for doing the job. That's all we should do. And I kind of felt, I didn't, but I kind of felt emailing Channel 13, which is what I watch, and go, okay, well, let me film your broadcast and then post it on my Facebook page and invite people to offer their opinions about how they think you done it, what you could have done better and whatnot, meaning put you under the scrutiny with people, because there's plenty of people who have nothing to do. They really have no life and plenty of free time, would go, oh, I think that dress style doesn't suit her, and the way she made that hand gesture, or the way he said that. Yeah, see how that feels to be subject to that kind of scrutiny when all you're doing is trying to do your job, the job that you paid for, the job that you've been trained for. See, people don't put themselves in other people's shoes, and yeah. Anyhow, that was a bit of a side note, but anyways, stay vigilant out there, and if you see anyone, like I said, clearly fake Uber Lyft driving, report. All right, have a good day, everybody.